Good morning, everybody. I hope you are safe and well. Thank you for joining me this morning. For our mindfulness today, I'm going to read you a story. So, if you just find yourself a comfy position, settle yourself down, maybe just take a couple of nice deep breaths just to get yourself nice and relaxed. That's it. Perfect. Now, this story is called The Desert Rose Garden and it's by Annabel Lindgreen. And I wonder, whilst I'm reading the story, if you can see the message that's behind what I'm reading. So, there once existed a garden that was owned by a wizard who could only be found in the hottest desert in the world. There was a magical rose within the garden that the wizard had cast a spell on, making the rose the most beautiful rose in all the garden. "Everyone, look! Another day you get to see me and how beautiful I am," said the rose. The rose then proceeded to dance in the wind, twisting and turning and making sure every petal reflected the dazzling desert sunlight. All the other flowers and plants looked in wonder and wished that one day they too could be as beautiful as the rose. Another plant in the garden that happened to be planted right next to the rose was a cactus. The cactus had been in the garden for hundreds of years and stood proud and tall of itself. Every day the rose would wake up from the night and would insult the cactus standing tall. "Ha ha," the rose would say, "look at your spikes and your greenness and your nothing much else. You call yourself a plant? Where are your petals? Your flowers are so white and small, not like the beautiful red that I am." The cactus did not respond. Day in, day out, the rose would dance in the wind and laugh about how much prettier it was than the cactus. The other flowers said nothing in return, for they were scared the rose would turn round and insult them instead. However, the tables were about to turn. One summer, the wizard, who had gone to visit the rose in his garden every single day to look after and water them, for it was a desert in which he lived, set off on an adventure. He had to go to the great library to file some books away that were to be kept there. Yet, when he left, he forgot to put a spell on all the plants so they would stay watered and healthy. The wizard was gone for days, and then for weeks, and then they turned into months. Being so beautiful, the rose had been given a flower pot all to itself, and so for many weeks the rose survived like normal. However, one day a desert sandstorm rolled in, as did one of the hottest summers the desert had seen in many centuries. The rose became battered and bruised in the sandstorm, and once the sandstorm had finished, the heat dried up the tank of water, and the rose was left dry. "Please," said the rose as its once beautiful petals started to wilt in the dry heat. "Please, can someone help me? I think I'm going to die." The cactus, who'd been watching the rose the whole time, approached the rose and said, "Why, of course, Rose, I can help you. As you know, cacti are masters at surviving in the desert, and we store water inside ourselves, so here, take some of mine." The rose was incredibly grateful to the cactus for helping it. "But why? All these years I've been so horrible to you about how you look. Why would you choose to help me?" "Because," said the cactus, in his usual booming voice that sounds so full of wisdom, "being beautiful isn't about what you look like, either to yourself or to other people. It's about the kind of person you are on the inside." "But I've been ugly on the inside," said the rose. "It doesn't matter, little rose. Everyone can forgive and grow together. Be beautiful on the inside, and this is what people will say." From that moment on, the little rose decided to be so beautiful and kind on the inside, and the garden was united as one. Now, I wonder if, as we were going through the story, you could pick up on the message there. And I expect that we might have varying opinions on what the moral of the story was. But I wonder how many of you thought that perhaps the cactus shouldn't have shared his water with the rose because the rose had been mean to him. And I wonder how many of you thought that actually the rose wasn't very nice at all. Now, sometimes in life we come across people who aren't very nice to us, or maybe don't let us join in, or perhaps make us feel that we're less important than them. And the easiest thing, of course, would be to walk away and to look upon them when they find themselves in trouble and just say, oh, well, serves you right. But the cactus didn't do that, did he? He went back and he shared his water. And that shows real strength of character in that cactus. And it just goes to show that two wrongs don't make a right. And sometimes, somebody can be mean to us, but there's lots of things that we can do to put that right. And by showing the rose kindness, he taught the rose the correct way to be, so that she then made sure that she became part of the garden and wasn't one person on her own, that she was united with the rest of the plants in the garden and became part of something much bigger. So there you go, guys. That's your story for the day. I hope you enjoyed that, something a bit different. I hope you have a wonderful day full of positivity. Think about the importance of pulling together, whether you're at home with your family or whether you're in school. And remember the importance of always seeing the good in somebody. Don't just, beauty, they say, is only skin deep. There's what goes on with somebody. There's far more inside than any of us know. It's always important to try and get to know the real person. Right, my lovelies, take care. Have a wonderful day. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.